So far, we've explored the decadent lives of Brittany, Christina, Justin, and Lindsay. And let me just say, the list is about to get even longer, if that's possible. Look, I'm a fan of sea creatures as much as the next girl. But $6,000 to purchase one fish seems to me to be just a little bit excessive into starving. But at the same time, if you can afford to buy a $15 million mansion and you grossed over $24 million on your last world tour, you're obviously not worried about it. Cool. Thanks.
We all know the story. The unlikely teenage rebel from rural Ontario turns 6 times platinum superstar, selling over 15 million copies of her debut album before her 20th birthday. Avril Lavigne is a $1 million living legend.
Can I make it any more obvious?
Anything but obvious. Signed at 16, her rise can only be described as meteoric.
Why have to go and make things so complicated?
But there's nothing complicated about Avril's continued success. Her second album, Under My Skin, debuted at #1, selling 381,000 copies in the first week, and the money kept pouring in.
He was a boy, she was a girl.
In 2004, she met Paris Hilton's ex-boyfriend, Derek Whibley, lead singer for Canadian band Sum 41.
We are in love, haven't you heard how we rock each other's world?
By the time she sold her 3-story house in Toronto's Cabbagetown for a meager $600,000, Avril and Derek were already Bel Air hillbillies, shacked up in their humble $15 million mansion.
Won't you take me by the hand, take me somewhere new?
Derek surprised her on tour in Venice and proposed with what friends called a big rock. Earlier this year, they got married in front of 110 friends and family at an exclusive resort in Montecito, California. Avril wore a Vera Wang dress worth a rumored $25,000. Not bad for a kid who wasn't quite sure how to use her brand new credit cards just a couple of years ago.
I don't know if this is gonna work or not.
No, it doesn't.
The ritzy wedding dress is a pretty stark symbol of just how much things have changed for the small-town hopeful gone big time, trading in her problem child image for a Ford modeling contract and selective movie roles.
What's up, boys?
But the skater girl in her still rears her ugly head on occasion. Earlier this year, the media ran stories of darling little Avril spitting on some overzealous paparazzi who pounced on her and Derek.
Oh, let's jump there.
She's all over the place.
Still, our very own Avril is really just a caring middle kid who often flies her whole family first class to see her, just like she flies even when her band flies economy.
Avril gets first class, we get economy.
Which is something you can do when you're ranked the 7th most powerful Canadian in Hollywood. She's got 2 movies and another sure-to-be smash album coming out next year. This spoiled rich kid is growing up fast.
Man, whoever said progress was a slow process wasn't talking about me.
From one of the hardest backgrounds imaginable,
I do what I gotta do to get by in the street.
controversial gangster rapper 50 Cent has turned his greatest misfortunes into an immense personal fortune.
I grew up in a house that was worth $165,000. Now I live in a house about $12 million.
I don't know what you heard about me, but you can't get a dollar out of me.
His debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', which sort of says it all, sold a whopping 872,000 copies in the first week of its release.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday.
And his multi-platinum career has withstood hails of criticism and bullets. Even if they almost took his life, his long-standing feuds with fellow rappers turned enemies have created a living mythology of guns and violence. Dressed up in $250,000 cars and over-the-top bling worth just as much. And with all the bravado you'd expect.
Just talking about money, homie, I ain't concerned.
But when you've got over 40 million in annual sales, you've got plenty of other concerns.
Your money don't change, you're not making enough. My friends are beginning to be better enemies than my enemies because they envy me.
While the paranoia and trust issues aren't always mentioned in the brochures, even if you can't take the gritty streets out of the boy, you can take the boy off the gritty streets.
Welcome to the candy shop.
Bought from boxer Mike Tyson with 25 full baths, 5 jacuzzis, 18 bedrooms, an elevator and movie theater, the house is a small measure of 50 Cent's own real-world heavyweight status.
The house is worth about $170,000. I got cars that cost twice as much as that.
My crib, my cars, my clothes, my shoes. Look on me, I done came up and I ain't changed.
But there's no such thing as too much, and he wants to take over the world in whatever way he can. Fiddy's G-Unit label has a matching clothing line, which all started with a multi-million-dollar endorsement from Reebok and a signature line of running shoes by the same name.
What I'm doing with G-Unit is actually establishing it as a brand.
He's also got his very own bottled water.
Can you believe it?
Add to that a 50 Cent video game, appropriately titled Bulletproof, probably to go with his custom blinged out SUV Cherokee,
24 inches, Giovanni Reyes.
which is not only bulletproof but also bomb-proof. His first movie having grossed $46 million worldwide,
Damn, homie.
and 2 more movies coming down the pipe this year, he might just get his crown.
Damn, baby, all I need is a little bit.
And while we really should leave the spoiled out of this rich kid in terms of sheer drive, ambition, and pure survival, he's definitely all that and more.
I can't believe it sometimes.
Hilary Duff's only had her own TV show,
It's so not in touch with reality.
been in only 15 movies,
My life is so crazy.
and only recorded 5 albums. She only has her own clothing line and perfume.
Not too busy with a million things I'm doing.
In 2005, she only made $15 million,
I think they try to make it sound more fancy than it is.
and this year, she's only made $17 million.
Nice things really do happen like that.
Her net worth is only around $25 million,
I do work pretty hard.
and she's only 19.
No way, are you kidding me? Wake up on a Saturday.
Although she projects a wholesome, down-to-earth image with her community-oriented, non-jet set lifestyle,
London, Paris, maybe Tokyo. There's something going on anywhere I
her tabloid tussles with other young starlets,
Oh my God, how'd I do that?
and relationships with older musicians
That's a big guilty pleasure.
show a more human side.
Friends don't let friends take public transportation.
Her parents bought her a Range Rover for her 16th birthday,
Some people spend their money frivolously.
but she has a Mercedes for when she's feeling slightly sportier. Still, for all her wealth, Hilary keeps her lavish spending habits under wraps.
I have actually a shoe collection and a handbag collection. Those are my fetishes.
But at least it's a modest size.
I think I have about like 100 pairs of shoes.
And she enjoys buying her dog Lola things like $50 dresses. No surprise then that her next venture will be a line of designer doggy wear. Does anybody else not totally buy all this Miss Goody Two-Shoes stuff by Hilary Duff? Yes. Or maybe things really are cheaper by the dozen for this material girl. Either way, as the title of her upcoming movie says, for some spoiled rich kids, stuff happens.
A $40,000 shower? That's ridiculous. Come on, guys. That seems a little bit excessive even for you. I want you to stick around, though, because I'm about to tell you who got a $250,000 Bentley for one birthday and $1 million Rolls Royce for another. Also, I'm going to tell you who makes their fans kiss their feet in true spoiled rich kid style and who got married barefoot in Costa Rica. Stick around for that.